Hello and welcome to the JRSM class. The first rule to the JRSM class is if you keep up with the curriculum, you should do okay. The second rule is if you keep up with the curriculum, you should do okay. Hello, I'm Professor Christine Conforti, and I'm here to just introduce myself so you can see a face behind the writing, and also to discuss a little bit of the syllabus and what's expected. So let me just get right into it. The course theme for the JRSM course is Current Events in Media and Civic Responsibility, or your major. That's what your topic choice can be. You're going to choose a topic that's going to be carried throughout the entirety of the course. It'll be based on your argumentative paper and also your narrative oral presentation conducted in PowerPoint. I'm going to briefly describe all the learning outcomes. First, I'm going to name them and give a brief description. There's oral communication, quantitative reasoning, reading fluency, written communication, critical thinking, and information literacy. So we'll start with the first one, oral communication. That's currently what I'm doing here right now with you. So you see it's important how we're able to create a central message, have some type of organizational pattern where we can convey our message appropriately that the audience can receive well. So it's important for you to learn how to develop your oral communications. I've noticed a lot of students struggle with this in the classroom, but we'll be working on PowerPoint slides, which might ease some of that. Quantitative reasoning. Quantitative reasoning is to be able to apply real-world maths, essentially is what it is. Something as simple as knowing how to apply a tip to a bill. And yes, you might say, oh, well, I have my phone for that. It has a calculator. But there's certain things that you can't use your phone for, such as interpreting a graph and analyzing the specific data to make good judgments. So we're going to get into that later, and I'm sure it's going to be an area of your interest. We couldn't possibly encompass the whole concept of it, but it's real-world math skills. Reading fluency. So you might think, hey, I can read, right? We can all read. However, reading, it's actually pretty complex, especially with punctuation, which I supply a link for. This is so imperative that you understand how to read properly because the placements of commas, semicolons, dashes, exclamation points really matter. It, again, transmits your message the way it should be received. So we're going to try to trump up our reading fluency. Written communications, important. I know most of you saying, oh, I'm never going to do a paper again in my life. This is not real world application. I'm going to beg to differ. Understanding the concept of a 3-paragraph essay is crucial, even in an email. As you move forward into the professional realm, how you organize your thoughts and convey them is very important. And this is simple written communications. So we're going to be working on 3-paragraph structure, as well as then integrating that into something more in-depth. It will definitely bolster your skills. Critical thinking, one of my favorites. We all think, right? But there's actually a procedure to thinking, and we're going to learn that procedure. I have this great dynamic website that will show you that. We need to listen to the message, whether we agree with the message or not. But we need to challenge our own conventions. We have to understand the person's point of view. We need to take this information in, check its validity, pair it up with other, I'm not going to get into the whole details, but pair it up with a bunch of information to then come out with an informed opinion. You synthesize and you make an inference. That's critical thinking, and you're going to see how it changes the way you think about everything you approach now. And lastly, information literacy. And this is really important because we're talking about critical thinking. How do we know what's true? How do we know what's valid? we're going to learn about valid and credible sources, how to find these valid and credible sources, how to apply them, how to cite them, and how to use them in an ethical way. So that pretty much sums up everything that we're going to cover in the course. At the bottom of the syllabus and also in the Blackboard, I'm going to have a navigational video that you can see how to access all this information, because there's several different ways of doing it. Of course, it's in the syllabus itself, but I have it in this message. I have it in other outlines and student resources. There's information in the useful links and docs tab, and that course mapping video will help you. But because here there's all Mercy's institutional policies, I don't want to disregard it. I know it's attached to all of your syllabuses, and you probably know all of this by heart, but I think it's worth mentioning briefly that there's an academic integrity that you have to adhere to with cheating and plagiarism. There's a attendance policy that must be adhered to. There's consequences if you don't. So if you're not familiar with this, I strongly suggest you go into the student resource section and look up institutional policy, or you go into the syllabus and look it up, because there will be a syllabus quiz. But anyway, I think that's essentially it. There's certain class expectations that I will outline the first week in the class. I don't think it's worth getting into it now. And I just want to let you know that the weighted grading is again in the student resource section. It's also listed in the syllabus. And I am very prompt with grading. I am very prompt with responding. And the one thing I will ask is, I would really appreciate our communication to be conducted through the Blackboard email system. Only if urgent can you use my Mercy email. Otherwise, I'm just inundated. I receive enough emails on that link alone. I'm really prompt. I usually check Blackboard every day, at the least every other day. If I will be traveling or doing something that I'm not going to be as available, I actually will send out an announcement. I'm very transparent. I want to share that relationship with you. I am here for you. I can be reached on Blackboard Collaborate for any brief conversation, for tutoring. And tutoring, everybody thinks it's for writing papers. No, it could be for anything whatsoever. So please do not be reluctant to reach out. This is part of what you've paid for. Take advantage of it. And lastly, at the end of the syllabus is the outline, what I've listed, and it's also in the student resource section under alignment grid, I believe. So you can see what's to be expected. And one most important thing too, the class will be scaffolded. So in other words, it's not like week 1 and week 2 we're doing critical thinking. These skills overlap one another. Yes, is there a main focus? Absolutely. However, there's multiple ones going on simultaneously. And I want to make that apparent to you, and that's why it's listed there. And it's very multimedia. My course is very interactive, and I try to make things interesting and fun. And I also have a voluntary survey that I have created myself within Blackboard, and I want you to help me help you, if that makes sense, because I have modified my courses over the years to students' demands, or requests, I should say, that to make the course a better course. If I have enough students saying, X, Y, and Z, I can see that I clearly need to make a change. And for instance, one change that I did make, I used to run my course from Sunday to Saturday. I'm running my course from Monday to Sundays. So I really listen to your suggestions. And that's pretty much it. I'm sorry for the long-winded lecture. It's really not going to be about me anymore. It's going to be about you. So I look forward to this semester together. I'm very excited. I hope you are. And I'll see you during the semester. Bye.